where part of this large tree came crashing down on the home behind me, hitting the roof as well as part of this truck. It being ripped off of its own braces. That about 15 feet away here, you can see that it likely, like the trees, snapped and flew from the storm. Now the cleanup is beginning. You can see crews working behind us with power lines, and one of the cars hit the side of that building, taking out the corner of it. Say so long, Raleigh, for now, to the electric scooters. Bird says that they are flying away, and Lime Scooters is following suit. When they hit the front of their car on this guardrail, the back slid off, going right into the creek. And we do have confirmed that one Raleigh police officer has been shot. The river's back there, but you can see this floodwater coming here. We're on a street. You've been a Wake County school teacher for 26 years, you told me. Tell me what this experience has been like today. You were assaulted in a bathroom. What happened and what's happened since then for you? They are trying to get a step ahead of it right now with the pumping of this water to at least not affect businesses in areas over here. Crews are still working now to remove this large tree from Southwest Cary Parkway. I want to show you some of the damage that we've been seeing. You can take a look at this driveway behind me. It ended with him being pronounced dead in that ditch here in Clayton. Good evening, Nick. Well, Governor Cooper says that he knows that this has been a difficult and frightening time for the people of Orange County, but has heard there's been deep gratitude in the community knowing that there was no serious injuries from the storm. He also says that first responders as well as county leaders made the right calls when it came to this storm, especially getting young people out of schools as early as possible and getting them home before this storm hit. Now, as you mentioned, I'm at Maple View Farm. I want to give you a look at some of the damage. Take a look right over here. This is a barn completely ripped off, some of it landing across the farm here, going all the way up the road of the farm. The governor did spend some time with the farm owners as well as the director of the Agricultural Education Center, walking through the damage along with the sheriff. Governor Cooper saw firsthand just how destructive the severe weather was.
When you look at the power of this storm and how it could have caused so much devastation over a long period, to have no one hurt is a great thing.
A barn ripped apart, scattered across the area, metal debris everywhere, and still gratefulness. That's what Governor Roy Cooper is seeing as he walks through Maple View Farm in Hillsboro.
Farming's a hard job anyway, but weather makes it tougher.
No person on the farm was injured, and the cows managed to weather the storm. The farmer taking shelter inside this closet when it all hit.
What did it sound like? Mostly just wind, and then until all the stuff started flying around and hitting.
On the opposite end of the land is the Maple View Agricultural Educational Center, where both children and adults alike can learn more about farm animals from the nonprofit. Their busiest season is spring and fall when school groups come in. Luckily, with it being Good Friday, no one was there as trees cracked and playground equipment was tossed around the field.
It was a little overwhelming. I cried a lot, and then we just started picking things up and walking around and figuring out what we could salvage and what couldn't be salvaged and making sure that everyone was okay.
The farm isn't the only area of Orange County hurting. Leslie Drive in Chapel Hill took an incredible blow. The sheriff describes it as if a bomb went off. One of the residents on the road, State House Representative Greg Meyer.
I think every time I stop and I'm not focused on what the next task is, it kind of hits me and I go into shock again. And part of it is appreciation for just being alive and that my family's alive and that all of our neighbors are here and nobody got hurt. And part of it is sadness at the destruction and what it means for our home.
1, 2, 3, Westwood! Very good, yeah. Now, Governor Cooper says that he is talking to emergency management, seeing if there's any avenues for either state or federal funding for the people affected. Right now, though, insurance adjusters are still on the different scenes, seeing what they can take care of. He says after that, they'll see if there's anything that the state can do. For now, in Hillsboro, Ryan Breslin, Spectrum News. Good afternoon. This group has been working for days to help the people of southeastern North Carolina. Right now, they're moving things out of this house. You can see them moving that refrigerator. It's just one of the things that they are doing to help put Wilmington on the road to recovery. Cutting limbs, clearing yard debris, moving heavy appliances, and delivering food to the elderly.
I ate some stale bread for breakfast this morning, so I thank y'all so much.
It's all about service for the volunteers with Sheepdog.
Whether it's veterans, the elderly, or low income, that's what we try to focus our efforts on.
They see themselves as society's protectors, and their mission is simple: find the damage and restore it back to order.
Whether it's 1,000 houses or one house, a disaster only matters to the person it's impacting at that point.
Sergeant Major Lance Nutt formed the organization years ago after coming home from deployment, seeing the devastation from Hurricane Katrina, and knew he wanted to continue to serve others. Now it's become part of his life's purpose.
I retired from the Marine Corps last Thursday after 30 years of serving, and while we were doing my retirement ceremony, this hurricane was coming ashore.
With 5,000 members strong, new recruits are joining all the time.
I left the fire line, slept for 4 hours, and got in a truck and drove for 5 days to get here.
These women and men are doing the heavy lifting for those who can.
It's been a great help. I tell them I would do this over and over and over for free. If you have the equipment and you have the fuel, it's like just taking care of the people and getting that stress off of them.
Together, they're aiding those who need it most while benefiting themselves.
It brings back that sensation of the camaraderie that comes with it while serving alongside a brother or sister that understands your need to continue giving back.
Now, we've seen so many people truly appreciative for the work that Sheepdog is doing. They're saying that it's helping them avoid high costs of contractors that they otherwise couldn't afford. Now, Sheepdog has 22 chapters across the country. One of their largest is in Western North Carolina. For now, in Wilmington, Ryan Breslin, Spectrum News. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum News. I'm Ryan Breslin. It is hot out today. In fact, it's been hot all week, but change is on the way. Let's head over to the Weather Center for a check of your Weather on the Ones forecast. Thanks, Gary. We're following breaking news out of Nash County. The man accused of stabbing his wife to death and dumping her body is back in our state. A Raleigh man is dead, killed in what is being called a freak accident at the beach. Boone police say 4 people are okay after some sort of plane accident. Our chief meteorologist Gary Stevenson joins us now in the studio. Tim Boyum got a tour of the exhibit with the museum director. Here's some of what they saw. Police say a 6-year-old is among 4 young thieves accused of stealing 10 handguns from a sporting goods store. Puerto Rico's embattled governor is defending new corruption allegations as calls for his resignation grow even louder. Now 2020 presidential candidates are joining the thousands of protesters. David Daniel has a closer look, including the familiar faces lending some star power to the effort.